Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of The Suited Shootist. And as you can guess by the title and how I'm dressed, I want to address the whole concept that black goes with everything. Because, especially when dudes are trying to improve their wardrobe and are looking to elevate their style, they tend to gravitate towards that. And I think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's easy. And it's a relatively safe bet because there's no real risk of black being construed as something other than a masculine color. Because, let's be honest, there are dudes out there that will shy away from more bold or vibrant colors because they're concerned that they're effeminate. That's its own thing. But there's a couple of reasons why I'm vehemently against this concept. Firstly, my understanding is that this whole idea originated with women's fashion and still kind of as it pertained to cocktail attire and evening wear. Now, the truth is that in those circumstances, dark colors are typically more appropriate. But you got to keep in mind, on the women's front, they're typically wearing dresses. And so it's one homogeneous color the entire length of the body. With men, you're introducing, at the very least, shirt and pants, or you're doing shirt, pants, and a jacket. So there is at least two fabrics and two colors being injected into this equation. And so those variables are going to change the math. Now, the other big factor is that black is one of the most formal colors out there. And the problem is if a dude only owns one suit and it's a black suit, then invariably it is going to end up getting worn in circumstances that are not formal enough to warrant wearing black. And so you look at a place overdressed and like it's your only suit. The solution to that? Oh, hey, well, I'll just split it up and wear it as separates. No. For two big reasons. First off, black does not wear well in terms of aging. And so if you wear the jacket more than the pants or vice versa, invariably you're going to end up with a disparity in the actual fade of the fabric to where it no longer matches and you can't wear it as a suit. What's even worse is when I see people that buy a jacket and pants separately and try and make them a suit. It's a huge mistake. And it's just one of these glaring errors that makes it look like you don't know how to dress yourself. Another challenge is the fact that black is not a singular color. If you're a fan of Archer, in the pilot, there's the little quip about, are they black, or are 5 in a dark black and 5 in a slightly darker black? And that's kind of used as a throwaway gag, but the truth is that black is not a singular color. You can tell there's a difference between the color of the jacket and the color of the pants. And the problem is that it's different enough to be noticeable, but not different enough for it to actually work. If you're wearing a pants and an odd jacket, you want there to be a notable contrast between them. They either need to match exactly or be purposefully different. Now, I will concede, I tried to put this whole thing together to make the point that black doesn't really work. And I kind of failed. This works to a degree. I would not wear a worsted wool solid color black jacket with black jeans ever, because again, this is intended to be a suit jacket. But it's not at this point. I don't have the pants for it. This was actually given to me by somebody. And it's probably going to make its way into my training wardrobe more than anything else. But it's one of those where if I were to wear something like this, number one, I'm sticking kind of with a semi-monochromatic theme. I'm doing shades of black, gray, black, etc. I would only wear this to some kind of evening event. And even then, it would have to be an evening event kind of a certain vibe. So like, if there was a charity casino night, or for some inexplicable reason I decided to go to a nightclub, this would not look out of place. But, the reality is that people, when they try and wear either something like this or all black, God forbid, black jacket, black shirt, black necktie, you're trying to look like John Wick, and you end up kind of looking like a B-list henchman in some cheap action movie, because it's such an austere and kind of contrasting look that it requires very specific confidence and very specific, kind of an overall vibe to pull it off and not look out of place. And the truth of the matter is, if you're watching this channel, then chances are you're kind of on the front end of your sartorial journey, and something like a black suit or a black sport coat is setting you up for failure a whole lot more than it's going to make things easier for you. Another thing that is worth pointing out is black is very difficult to keep clean. I don't know how well it's showing, but this has never been downstairs with the dogs, aside from when I brought it in the house. And yet somehow there still managed to be dog fur on the sleeve. So bear all that in mind, that if you are going to spend good money on a suit or on a sport coat, the goal is versatility. And the truth of the matter is that black suits, I'm not even going to say black sport coats, because black sport coats shouldn't exist in my opinion. Black suits are not particularly versatile. There's only a couple of different ways that you can really effectively style them, and all of those are relatively formal. And again, if you're buying your first suit, or if you only have one suit in your closet, you're probably not so accustomed to wearing a suit casually that you can pull it off with a black suit. I'll link to a video that Hugo Jacome did over at Sartorial Talks, and he talks about I think 5 different ways to style a black suit. They all look great, but they're all definitely kind of on the formal side. So if you are trying to figure out what you need in your closet, I would very strongly advise against going with a black suit, honestly, at all. I've got a dozen sport coats and probably 8 different suits in my closet, and I don't own a black suit. I own one black sports jacket, but it is of a material that it's cashmere. So visually, it's a lot softer. It almost kind of looks, it's sweaterish in that regard. And so it doesn't get a ton of wear, if I'm being honest. I kind of have that just scrolled in the back for weird instances where it may be appropriate, but I think I've worn it a total of 3 times since I've bought it. So not the best investment. And I'm somebody that wears jackets regularly. So let me know what you think. I mean, I want to hear this in the comments. Am I completely off base? Should everybody have a black suit? I don't care what Steve Harvey says. I've already made my argument against that, and I'll link that here too. Because again, he's wrong on that one. Somebody with a wardrobe like his that's perpetually on camera can get away with things that don't necessarily work for us regular folks. So what do you guys think? Do you own a black suit? If you do, how do you typically wear it? If you're thinking about buying your first suit, what are you thinking about buying? If you think I'm just completely off base, tell me why down below. Aside from that, I hope it is a fantastic week. Stay dangerous and stay sharp.